Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. So let's get right into general messages for the beginning of October. I already did a separate video. Hopefully you guys will check it out, having to do with the new moon in October and other things. Just kind of like the first half of October. Well, not really even the first full half. There's just so much to talk about this month. So I made a separate astrology video because it would just take me too long to work in absolutely everything with the tarot. We would be here all day. And I would have to do that for each sign. That would be nuts, right? All right, so Cancer crabby friends, let's see what's happening. So you do have the new moon happening in your 4th house. It's your home. It's where you live, Cancer. So we have that happening with 2 quincunxes that are worth mentioning. So it's going to be between your 4th house. So you have the Sun, Mars, Moon, Mercury retrograde. Everybody's in Libra in your 4th house. Okay. Uranus, which is hanging out in your 11th house, is going to be quincunxing this energy. So the moon's going to be quincunxing and Mars is going to be quincunxing this energy. And all that means is there's going to be a weird kind of tension that is going to feel very uncomfortable. But everything, and believe me when I tell you, everything that I'm going to say is meant to level you up and bring you into a better space. It really is. I actually think there's a lot of very positive energy for you right now. We have Venus is moving into Sagittarius, and that's going to be in your 6th house. So 6th house has to do with your day-to-day work environment. It has to do with your health. We like when Venus is in Sagittarius in our house of health. So it's good for your health. You're going to be looking good. You're going to be feeling good. You may be meeting somebody at work. This is excellent for any sort of negotiating, right? Because Sagittarius rules negotiation. The 6th house rules like a lawsuit, the beginning of a lawsuit or the beginning of any sort of like complaint. And with Venus in there, it sort of takes the rough edges off of a situation. So really good if you're in any sort of sticky situation having to do with business or any sort of legalities going on, right? So I do like that. But having the Sun, Mars, Moon, Mercury retrograde, it's heavy, it's big, but let me talk about the positive first. Mars is going to be Cazimi, which means that it's going to be sitting in the middle of the sun, and this is very, very powerful and very positive. It just is. And now Mars, remember, rules Aries. Aries is very I am, right? Aries is the landlord of the 1st house. So you're going to feel very focused on your attitude towards life, your approach towards life when it comes to what makes you feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure in your literal home. So it could have to do with home, an investment property, somebody that you're living with, or just metaphorically your ability to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. Or there could be something that's going on with your mother, right? I mean, it could certainly be that as well, right? But it's this quincunx, right? It's this 5 degrees away where there's something that needs to be addressed. Now, 11th house has to do with friends, people that you're associated with. It's the house of your salary, your goals, your gains, your 5-year plan. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of conversation, or at least a lot of consideration regarding how in alignment your friends are with you, or how in alignment the people that you work are with you, as far as how it is that you're moving forward. You're going to be even looking at your relationships, who you're living with. Can you see yourself staying with this person? It's just because it's a quincunx doesn't mean that it's negative. It means that something needs to be looked at. There's something that's very important that you need to look at in this energy, right? And you have this North Node in the 12th house, which I really like for you, Cancer, right now until the middle of January, because I feel like with the North Node in Gemini in that 12th house of the hidden, of where you're keeping yourself small, you're really thinking very clearly about expanding your life and expanding yourself. And I see nothing less than positive with that. Now, regarding all this activity that's going on in the 4th house, let's not forget that opposite this energy is Chiron retrograde in Aries, right? In that 10th house of career, public reputation, your long-term goals. There's healing that's going on there. Chiron's going to be retrograde until the end of December. So whatever's going on right now, it might not feel fluid. It might not feel like it's like you're there yet, but whatever you're doing, no matter how tired you are, as I feel like a lot of you are very tired. Whenever we have the nodes in our 12th house, we're feeling very tired. But just all of the energy right now, it's very thick. So a lot of people are feeling very tired having a hard time sleeping the full night through, all of that. Okay, but you're feeling this, there is this definite, almost palatable moving forward. And there's going to be a lot of healing there having to do with your long-term goals, right? You just might not be totally sure how it's all going to happen, because in your house of Sagittarius, you do have Neptune. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces at 21 degrees. So that could be a little bit of a trippy energy. It really can. Especially because it's sitting opposite your third house of communication, which is ruled by Mercury, and it's retrograde right now. So you might be having trouble with communication. You might be in this space where you're feeling kind of misunderstood. When you're talking to your friends, when you're talking to people at work, when you're trying to negotiate something, if you're trying to launch something, you may feel like something's going on that you're actually not fully privy to, where you feel like sort of like, you know, you almost like needing to sacrifice yourself, having to do with your belief system, or needing to sacrifice how you really want something to roll out, or needing to sacrifice your religion or your belief system in order to make others happy. You're not going to give into it. You're not going to be giving into it, but don't be surprised if you actually feel that, right? Now, in your 8th house, you have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. So this Jupiter, again, is about expansion for these cycles, right? Where how you show up as a we in relationship, having to do with investments and all that. But because we also have Saturn sitting in that house, don't be surprised if you're feeling sort of like 5 steps forward, 2 step back kind of thing. That's just sort of the dance that's got to happen until the end of the year. Don't worry, you are still moving forward. Now, I want to just mention that Pluto is going to be coming out of retrograde about 7 hours after the new moon, right? And so that's going to be happening in your 7th house of relationships. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more when I pull for the relationship, but it's not only relationship. It also has to do with contracts. It has to do with very close, it could be literal contracts or karmic contracts, right? Where we have these soul connections to people. But so there is this idea of reincarnation that's going to be associated with your 7th house, right? And Saturn is the planet of karma. And as I mentioned in the astrology video, we do have the asteroids of Justitia and Karma are going to be very active, really sort of inciting these karmic undertones into whatever it is that we're going through right now, okay? So understand that whatever's going on in that 7th house, it's almost like somebody else is driving the car. Not that you are not making all of your own decisions and your own choices, but there's something very karmic at play here, I feel like, when it comes to that 7th house for you. So let's come into the cards here. We have the Knight of Swords coming into this energy. So the Knight of Swords is expect the unexpected sort of thing, right? This is an unpredictable roller coaster energy, sudden truths popping out, underlying conflicts being exposed. Like something could have happened in the recent past coming into this energy. Now, for some of you, you could be like, I don't even know what's going on. You know, this could have to do with friendship, some sort of situation at work, some sort of situation in your relationship, depending on what your situation is. For others of you, it could be a relief where you're like, oh, okay, now I totally understand what's going on. You just want to wait for things to settle before you make a move. And what I mean by that is at least wait for Mercury to come out of retrograde and that post-shadow at the beginning of November. You know, try not to be too reactive, be more responsive to any situations that might be going on. As you may be dealing with a person who's like this, who's very determined, who's very driven, who's very forthright, and they're very ready to fight for whatever they believe in, right? Especially like in relationship or in work, whatever it is, right? But this is also an energy that doesn't have a very extensive attention span in a situation, and they could just create a lot of havoc and then just move on, and they create this drama and they don't take any responsibility for, you know, rectifying the situation or reconciling the situation. So you may be dealing with an energy like that if you don't resonate with it, as all of a sudden like unexpected things just start popping up in other areas. Okay, so we have the Emperor energy, which is great, right? This is very much I am energy, right? This is ruled by Mars, so heavy Martian energy here for sure. So the Emperor energy has to do with taking control, really. I mean, in short, this really is about taking control and being a leader in your own life, and recognizing that you need to conform to a certain way of being, that you're very determined in this energy. You're very determined to put yourself on a fresh path, put yourself in the space of having a new perspective. Some of you may be meeting somebody new who's really great, who values tradition, where you share a lot of the same values, which is great. This could be a friend, this could be a romantic partner. Those of you in relationship, you're having a lot of conversation about future plans. Very practical things are being addressed here in this energy. Finally, if it has to do with career or money, finances getting organized, balanced, and all of that good stuff. But if you're in something that is not feeling like it really speaks to your passion and your motivation, you're going to feel very, very pulled to make some changes. And I won't be surprised if this happens, right? Because of this 4th house, 10th house axis that's going on. You just have a lot of energy. I mean, the Venus in the 6th house, because when I look at career, the first 3 things I look at is 10th house, 2nd house, 6th house. So we have the 10th house is sitting opposite this Cazimi Mars, the combust moon, the new moon, Mercury retrograde, all this energy in Libra, ruled by Venus, about balance and fairness, is opposing this Chiron retrograde, which is looking to incite healing in the house of long-term goals and career and public reputation and standing in the world. So I just feel like if you don't feel like something is really right for you, Cancer, you're definitely strategizing in a different way. But what is your challenge? The challenge is the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles it's Mercury and Virgo energy. It's about family. It's about maturity. It's about deepening of commitment, shared values, property, inheritance, legacy, anything having to do with sharing. So here you are trying to fix something, really wanting to take control of your life, but what may be in the way are situations having to do with family responsibilities, either yours or somebody else's that you're dealing with. The challenge could be that you're in a situation where you feel like you're not able to really grow in the way that you would really like. You're in a situation where you're not making the money that you would really like. You're reconsidering things. If I stay in this, am I going to be able to bring myself the money that I want? If I stay in this relationship, am I going to be able to have the commitment and that element of sharing that I really want, that full commitment? So it depends on the situation, but it does seem like you're in this really good space, but it's almost like you're dealing with uncooperative energies in your life right now. So what is the basis of the situation? We have the 4 of Pentacles. So you're in this space where you're very, very focused on security, protecting yourself, while also self-improvement, which is really great. But a lot of you may be very focused on watching your resources so that you have a firm foundation for later on. Others of you may be very focused on protecting yourself within a situation where it's not that you don't want to be in a relationship, it's not that you don't want to start a new career, it's not that you don't want to start that, we'll get into that one thing, but you're feeling very protective of self, probably because of some issues that have gone in the past. Now, for some of you, I do want to say as a positive, if you've been working in some sort of position part-time at something, you may end up getting an offer of more like a full-time thing, right? Where it's a more secure position in some way for you. So working with that basis of the 4 of Pentacles, we have the Judgment. It's Pluto. Yeah, and Pluto's in that 7th house of contracts and relationships. So this energy in relationship, this is about assessing the relationship and shifting it into a new phase. So for some of you, there might need to be a need for reconciliation, or at least reconciling some issues that are going on within the current relationship that you have. Some of you are going to be thinking about returning to an old relationship, or maybe turning a friendship into something more. Some of you may be in that. If this has to do with career or money, this is acknowledgement for your success coming in. This is finances improving, which is really, really nice. Others of you may be actually, and I'm saying this especially just because you have all this energy in the 4th house, some of you may find that you're going to be making a decision about a property or about a living space where you might be finding yourself very drawn to an old property or a place that holds very happy memories for you, or something going on there having to do with maybe a childhood home, maybe thinking about buying a childhood home, or investing in a home in your old neighborhood, or you know, anything like that. There are so many different ways that that could end up manifesting, but I just wanted to throw that out there just because you have all of these energies in your fourth house of home. So what does Spirit want you to look at? The Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a very nice energy. This is Venus in Aries. This has to do with freedom and creativity and having a strong foundation. This is about success after completion. So look at what you've done up to this point. Look at what's been working and do more of that. This is a celebratory vibe. This is your talent and what you offer to a person or a situation being appreciated, and you being able to move forward with that person or within that situation, which is great, especially having to do with work, with that Venus energy being in the 6th house, and then Pluto finally going direct in that 7th house of contracts and contractual agreements. Very nice. Beautiful for relationships as well. I mean, this can indicate for some of you a new partner opening up how they really feel about you. This could be an old partner and you leveling up where you're at in your relationship. But Spirit is saying to be very open to this, be very open to the auspicious energy here. And even if things seem a little trippy and a little negative, or at least questionable, let's use the word questionable, don't worry, things are moving and sort of it's almost like the pieces are falling in place, even if you can't see things falling into place. Now, an energy that's external to you, that you're dealing with in either this relationship, this business, family situation, whatever it is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is Jupiter and Leo energy. It's about taking time out to step back for perspective. This is a really good energy to go to therapy, to do shadow work, right? It's this person that you're dealing with. Somebody may be doing some heavy work on themselves, or they're very actively trying to figure out a better strategy for moving forward regarding some sort of situation with you. So whether it's a business opportunity, whether it's a relationship, a family situation, whatever it is, you are on the mind of somebody here for sure. Now, the energy that's in your challenge here is the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is an energy of productivity. So you might be feeling kind of challenged in your energy to be able to move forward in a very productive way. And not that you're not, Cancer, I feel like you're very busy right now, but that might be it. Like you could be in that space where you're feeling very tired. Some of you may be questioning your ability to be successful in any sort of independent endeavor. You might be questioning if the financial gains of something that you're putting your energy into is going to be worth it at the end. Others of you are going to be very focused on trying to finally meet a healthy connection after doing great work on yourself, but you're just not meeting that person. You know, it's just not happening. It could be rather frustrating. So we have the Page of Swords in the near future. So the Page of Swords is the personification of air. So there's some sort of useful information coming in. You're getting help from people around you to further your ambition. So for some of you, this could be some sort of new information regarding a contract, a job offer, some sort of program that you were looking to get into. This could be very positive information about somebody that you're thinking about getting into a relationship with. Maybe somebody reaching out to you online in a very positive way, having to do with relationship or friendship even. This is, though, an energy that does indicate you should rely on your intelligence. You don't, whenever we're dealing with air, make sure you don't get too caught up in something where your emotions quickly kind of take over. You want to stay in that air energy and just make sure everybody is walking their talk, because the page, yes, it incites a new cycle, and yes, it does involve something useful coming in, and all of that is positive. It is. Page is also the young'un of the court. So there is an element of immaturity or newness, like a new cycle. So just before jumping in head first into something, you want to make sure that whoever you're dealing with is walking their talk. And now, get this. We have the Wheel of Fortune again. Some of you are going to be, I don't know, dealing with somebody from your past, some sort of situation from your past. But one thing is for sure, some fate is at play here. And you're feeling there's some sort of turning point that's been reached, and you need to take a chance. So some of you, this could indicate, will be turning to something or someone from your past that magically reappears in your life. Again, this is destiny at play here. If that relationship was good the last time around and you ended for a silly reason and it had good bones, Jupiter will bless this. If you feel like you're trying to fit a circle in a square, probably will not work out. Same thing with a job, same thing with a family connection, okay, for a lot of you. Now, for others of you, if this is to do more with career or money, this is very good news coming in. But please make sure you prioritize whatever's being asked of you, you know, when you exercise integrity. Because remember, Jupiter's all about integrity, moving forward with integrity. And Jupiter's always in a very, I always say, very tight dance with karma, right? So you want to make sure that you're handling everything very responsibly. So Page of Swords, so some sort of information could be coming in that's really moving you forward, having to do with your career. Beautiful. We have the Ten of Cups. Yay. Family contentment, benefit of security. Very nice energy there. Okay, so let's just pull let's pull and then see what we have. So there's going to be some sort of like battle of the wills going on here. There's no question. Funny, I feel like we got both Emperor energies in your spread. In this particular deck, we have a male and a female Emperor, so very cool. All right, so clarifying the Ten of Cups, we clarifying the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Ten of Cups again. Beautiful Mars and Pisces energy. Something positive regarding family, regarding contentment, benefit of security, all of that. But then that's being clarified by the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands indicates competition and a lack of agreement and strong opinions and fighting to be heard and a lot of very sort of like argumentative energy. Now, some of you may be in conflict with your father because this is a Saturn and Leo energy, and Leo's like what you want to do, and Saturn does represent father, so it can have something to do with that. But it doesn't have to, right? But also clarifying now the Five of Wands is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is about you wanting to be a free spirit. Now, this is a card that just screams, express yourself, go after what you want. Don't allow perfectionism to get in the way. You bring everything you need to the table, Cancer. It's going to be well received. It's all good. It's all good. You're doing everything you need to do. But yet there's an element that's still confusing you about the situation with the Seven of Cups, Venus in Scorpio, right? Choices and confusion, extremes, commitment issues, just because you're not sure what's real, what's not. Things feel up in the air, but you could feel still, even though things are up in the air and you're not sure what's what, you feel the beginning stages of something, some sort of new project, either a new project, a new relationship, some sort of new cycle in your life. You're definitely feeling it, right? So you want to pay attention to your instincts and your emotions in this energy, right? Always a recommendation, again, it's Venus in Scorpio. So Venus is not only about relationship, it's about money, it's about how you feel about yourself, right? Scorpio indicates that there are things that are changing within you right now. So clarifying the Seven of Cups, we have the Eight of Swords. So I feel like you're going to be in something that you're going to be identifying as some sort of situation that you feel very trapped in, where you're going to be in the space thinking things are never going to improve, things are always going to be like this, and that ends up inciting a lot of anxiety because you feel like you don't belong in a particular situation anymore. And you're going to need a lot of determination to pull yourself out, even if it means swallowing your pride, even if it means going to people and saying, I made the wrong choice, I should not have done this. A lot of you are going to be in that space. But then we have the Two of Wands clarifying that, which is Mars and Aries, and this is making plans and moving forward. And this is indicative of two aspects of a situation need to be looked at, and you're going to be in this space where you got to figure out which is the best to maximize your skill set, or which situation is the best for you to get into as far as your long-term happiness. Now, for some of you, this could indicate a new romantic partner, maybe through work or friends. But overall, guys, this is a very nice opportunity energy, right? Allowing your, whatever it is that you're working on to rise. You start a rise, not to sound cheesy or anything, but like you start a rise either in your personal or your public life. It really doesn't matter. That's where you're going to be at. But then check this out. We have the Five of Pentacles clarifying this, and I'm wondering if this is like not, oh, sorry about that. I just pulled the camera. I'm wondering if this isn't some sort of like feeling like knowing that something needs to be over and knowing it's the right thing to do. But I feel like I would have gotten the Eight of Cups for that, because there's the Five of Cups. I mean, the Five of Pentacles is feeling this sense of testing of resources, where you feel like a lot, you know, you might be feeling financial issues or fearing financial issues, and you're in the space where you're considering new options to help you see a way forward. But others of you could just be this could show feeling like a lot of pain in the aftermath of a breakup, or even the passing away of somebody that's very, very dear to you. But it's like this Two of Wands. It's like, should I, shouldn't I? Should I move away from this? Shouldn't I? But the Five of Pentacles is a very psychological card. Is you always have a lot more support surrounding you than you realize in that Five of Pentacles energy. But whatever it is, it's you're being pushed into this Emperor energy. I mean, very strong Mars energy for sure. Very like, I am, this is what I have to do, bye kind of thing. And this doesn't mean you're ending relationships and you're moving away and you're doing all of these things all at once. It's you taking control of your life. I think this is a very empowering kind of spread for you, because again, taking control. So some of you are going to be starting a new relationship. Some of you may be pushed to start a new field of study, a new career, or just kind of going off on your own. Just going out on your own and really being very honest with yourself, where if something doesn't feel right to you, you being very hell-bent on trying to fix it. And if you can't fix it, you deeply considering moving past it. And that's, you know, that's the energy that I'm getting here from the general spread. Let's pull a couple of cards for those of you who are in relationship. So again, speaking of relationship, we have this Pluto. I don't want that one. Let's use these. Pluto in retrograde in that 7th house of interpersonal relationships. And you do have Scorpio sitting in your 5th. Venus is going to be in there half the week and then going into that 6th house. It's all about transformation as well, right? Okay. So let's do a past, present, future, and then clarifiers, okay? Past, present, near future, final outcome. Yeah, so we have the Hangman energy in the recent past. You're feeling very confused about something, wondering if you, first of all, I mean, you might have been in a position where you were waiting around for somebody that you were interested in a relationship, and waiting to see if they had the same intention that you had for them, or they might have been waiting to see if you had the same intention for them, you know. You might be the one unwilling to commit. You might be dealing with an energy that was unwilling to commit in the past, whatever it was. But you might, likely moved into a space where you're like, it's not even worth the effort, right? It's not worth the time and the effort. Because you might feel like in order for a situation to work, right, whatever this was, you feel like you're going to have to somehow sacrifice what matters to you, or maybe they were feeling this, right? But this is a Neptunian energy, very smoke and mirrors, like this energy of inaction, right? In Cancer, you might have been in the space though where you were waiting for somebody. It's like they seem like they were interested and they seem like they want something, but then they pull back and then they move forward. And so it could be a very confusing energy. And here is the Queen of Swords. Now, I just want to say before I go any further, relationship reads, as I say a lot, are very enmeshed energy. So you want to take the messages holistically and apply them to your situation. Because what I say about you could apply to them, and what I say about them could apply to you. You have to understand that's how tarot works. So we have the Queen of Swords energy. So Queen of Swords, very motivated to find out the truth and the psychological motivation, right? It's a very strong, very experienced energy. I always get like a single parent vibe here. It's very strong in the face of adversity. Doesn't have to be, but somebody who's very strong in the face of adversity and who's trying to actually navigate the confusion of something that went on in relationship. So now we have the current situation. So we have the Knight of Cups, but it's being clarified by the Tower. Now this could come out in a couple of different ways, Cancer, keeping it real. This is somebody having a serious come to Jesus moment. Right, we have the Knight of Cups energy, which is a proposal, very emotional time within an existing relationship. For some of you, for others of you, this could be meeting somebody new who seems pretty perfect, very idealistic. you know, they really want a new partner. That may be very accurate, but you want to make sure that somebody is not stuck behind some sort of false persona saying everything that they know you want them to say, kind of thing. But we have that being clarified by the Tower. So what I mean by come to Jesus moment, this could be an offer coming in having to do with the relationship that you're in right now, right? And it could be like, I have realized that I have to surrender the way I've been up to this point in relationship because it's not working and I want to be in this with you. This could be you towards somebody or somebody towards you, and it's just like, whoa. So the offer coming in is like, look, I've changed, seriously. I realize like I'm getting in my own way. I really want this to work. If we keep doing what we did, we're going to keep getting with what we got. I want to own my stuff. You may be ready to own your stuff, whatever it is. A lot of you are going to be resonating with it like that, especially because this Pluto is finally coming out of retrograde in that 7th. But what can get a little tricky here, and I want to get like a little personal, there could be a lot of energy if you feel like you've been wronged, where if somebody does come back around, don't be surprised if you're in this space where you actually want a little bit of sweet revenge. And you can even be like on the down low about it. But it's like going to be very clear that you want to make somebody pay. So if somebody is coming back and they're like, okay, so like, it might sound really great, but if they really hurt you, you're going to want extreme validation. I can't say blame you, but just giving you a little bit of a heads up, because the way when I did the, I don't want to get into it all now because they did the full video on the astrology with the asteroids and the stars and all of that. And again, going back to karma and justitia and the fixed stars that are involved in this trans, because this is happening. This Pluto is going direct only 7 hours after this moon energy that we're focusing on. There's going to be this this lightening up, but it's going to be like, hey man, you wronged me, or hey woman, you know what I mean? So I just want to give a little heads up there, right? To be forewarned, just to be forearmed. Not everyone is going to resonate with that, but you're going to feel if you are where you're in this element of confusion, trying to figure somebody out, and then they come in and they're like, okay, I see the light, right? I see whatever, and so you want to be able to give it a fair shake for moving forward. Whether you could do that, I don't know what happened. You can't unsee certain things. Maybe the foundation is not good, whatever it is for you. But that's for many of you. Others of you, somebody's going to come back and you're going to tell them where to go. You're going to be like, bye. Nope. I mean, truly. You know, you might be offering somebody and they might be saying that to you. The near future, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is same, very in the mental. It's Capricorn and Aquarius. This is like earth, air, right? No emotions involved in this. Outwardly calm, using logic, focusing on the mind. It doesn't make sense. That's factually incorrect. This is what happened. This is, you know, and this is the reality of what's going on and all of that. No emotions really, right? Staying in that very factual space while being the Hermit. Hermit is Virgo. Virgo's all about problem solving. So Cancer, I could see you being very logical, even in your very emotional space. You being very logical about how something rolled out, and you being able to employ a lot more calmly maybe than you even have been up to this point, where there's recognition of unhealthy cycles within the relationship. There's recognition for many of you where you may be sitting down with your partner and saying, look, if we're going to work this out, we have to dedicate a lot more energy and a lot more time and a different strategy to smooth over any of these issues that need addressing in the relationship if we're going to be in anything that has any semblance of healthy, you know? It's like very much like this stepping back and using your mind and being like, wait a minute, like let's just keep it real. Let's keep our hearts out of it for a minute. What's really been playing out here? We have to really look at this, and you're going to feel very empowered to do that. You just are. So, for many reasons, the fact that you have North Node in the North Geminian North Node in your 12th house, where you're keeping yourself small, you're not going to be wanting to keep yourself small anymore. You're not going to, having Venus and Sagittarius in that 6th house, your mental, physical, emotional health, you're going to have a lot of support there. So, yeah. So here we have in the near future, we have the Two of Swords. So this is the moon in Libra energy. I mean, this is what I've been saying, right? I mean, this is time to think, because you're in this emotional stalemate, right? The moon's your emotions in Libra having to do with the relationship, but it's also like, how fair has this been up to this point? What is the belief system looking like? How good do you feel in this? And you may be in a space where you very much want to protect yourself, but whatever situation is going on here, it's not going away. So you're better off resolving it now, standing your ground, saying what you think, because a decision about the future is definitely made, and clarifying that it needs to be made, rather. Clarifying that is a Saturn and Taurus energy. I like this because this is about putting a lot of hard work into whatever situation is going on here, being very patient, because whatever it is that's going on here, there's so much potential for success. There's so much potential for success. But there's got to be some sort of patience that's exercised here. Transformation, yes, my friends, that's what I'm talking about. And I like that, you know, transformation is, again, Pluto rules that energy, and Pluto's going to be going direct. Allow the transformation. Raise your vibration. Don't hang on to the negativity. It's so hard sometimes, though, depending on the situation, right? Spirals of manifestation. If you want it, think about it. Have yourself there in the present. Speak in present tense. Like you have something going on within this relationship. Yeah, I mean, I see it working out, but there's got to be this big change with this Tower. This Tower and this Hermit. But I like how it ends. So that is what we have for the first week of October, my friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.